Two sides, either of whom could sparkle. Salford, a side that has gone from battling against relegation last year to pushing into the top six this, not least because of the efforts of scrum half Luke Robinson, the 20-year-old off-season capture from Wigan, and the ever-improving Malcolm Alker, who, as we've already heard, was unlucky not to be named in the Great Britain squad this week. London, on their day, are one of the most exciting sides in rugby league. Much falls on the shoulders of the club's longest-serving player, Paul Sykes, who's named at fullback but may push up into the centres, and scrum half and New Zealand international Thomas Lulai, who's given the club a real boost this week, agreeing an extension to his contract until the end of next season. Well, neither of these two sides have any great tradition in the Challenge Cup. Neither does Steve Ganson. He's yet to referee in a Challenge Cup final, but coming from St Helens, his chances have been limited in recent years. London beaten finalists in 1999. Salford winners only once, that back in 1938. But both have assembled squads this year that are capable of taking them all the way to Cardiff. Hodgson, with a first boot of the game, sends the ball skywards and highwards, and the drive back to test that Salford defence from Phillimore Lower here. So, Jonathan Davis, how do you see this one going today?
Well, it's very difficult, you know, on the way form of the London Broncos. As Brian Noble said, you'd have to favour, you know, the Salford Reds. But, you know, they can score points. That's the thing about this Broncos side. They can score points, so it's their attack against the Reds' defence.
We've seen them score a hatful when they're in the mood. 72 against Wakefield earlier in the year at the Stoop. They've beaten Wigan and Warrington there as well, but they have been troubled rather on their travels. Here is an early chance for McClendon to make a half break. Back it goes to Lulai. Little chip that shouldn't be a problem here for Stewart, and he's able to clear his lines again.
I think because, you know, they have got their problem on the road. I think if they have a good start, you know, the confidence will come then. So it's important that you know, the Reds don't leave them have a good start and give them that confidence and just have those doubts in their minds when they are on the road.
Home ground is, of course, Griffin Park, not the Stoop. No wonder they've had troubles on the road. I don't know whether they're coming or going. It's Salford in possession in these early, nervy stages of a cup tie. Always important moments these, aren't they, as two sets of forwards anxious to really put their mark on the game. Rutgerson, the big Australian, is the latest to be stopped. It's on the sixth tackle. Charles's kick is charged down, and London are given possession a lot closer to the halfway line than they would have anticipated. A little pick up from dummy half. It's Bradley Galilawa, who's the man at dummy half this time. Salford's defence has been impeccable this year. That has made them the team they are this season, isn't it?
Yeah, they've built everything on the defence. Just see, you know, if the defence is very strong, it just gives you confidence, you know, knowing that if you score some points, you're always going to be in the game.
There's Lolo here, who finds his way stopped by three Salford defenders. Sixth tackle coming up. So it's Heighton, the former Salford man, who picks it up with a little bit of trickery to produce, but the kick is too far out of play, and it'll be a handover back to Salford.
It'll be interesting to see how the kicking game goes today. It's very, very blustery. And we'll see who has the better kicking game.
Well, Paul Sykes will be hoping that his kicking game is a little better, especially from ground. 3 restarts in the match against Bradford last week, all put straight out of play, which handed the second half momentum to Brian Noble's side last week. As they got back into that match, I'm sure he'll have had the kicking tee out this week, trying to judge his distances a little better. It's driven in by Andy Coley, the England international, who manages to offload, and Malcolm Alker is there to nibble a few extra inches downfield. Hodgson from dummy half, another of those close season signings from Wigan. This is good hands here, a little bit of space on the outside for McAvoy, covered neatly and easily by London's sliding defence. That's not a good pass. This is Alker, forced to kick. Wells lost it in the sunshine, and it'll be head and feet to London, 30 yards inside their own half.
It is very difficult to see you know, who's got the wind advantage. It is swirling. I thought when Salford kicked off, the wind was at their backs, but it's changed again. That was a very difficult kick for John Wells to take.
Steve Ganson just having a word with one or two of the Salford players who are looking to try and referee the game themselves.
Yeah, I think he's on the word with Chris Charles about a knock on a couple of minutes ago, so just get on with it.
This is McClendon. Easily held. And not only held, but pushed back a yard or two as well.
It'll be interesting to see how McClendon comes into this game, whether he's going to be an attacking threat outside or if he's going to play as a, as a half-back. I'm not really sure.
They have so much football in the side, don't they, London? In the likes of McClendon and Luke Dawn and Thomas Lulai, they have so much creativity, and if their forwards can just get on top in this game, that's when they have the potential to rip sides open. Here's Lulai, the New Zealand international, trying to force Dawn through the gap, but he's grappled in the tackle.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Definitely a high tackle. That was more of a clumsy tackle. Hand in the face. Okay. I think it was Coley, Andy Coley. Just watch him. Goes in here. Yeah, just more of a slap. There's a good angle again. He runs well off Lulai, does Dawn, and he'll be a big threat.
Round the edge.
Lulai's kick has given Heighton the chance to tap it here and driven forward by Trindle. Well, they've the chance to set themselves a real platform here. London Broncos. Lulai back inside again for Lolo here.
Second, and back up, Chris.
Heighton's got a plan afoot. Left it goes to Lulai again, who's stepping neatly. Not past Charles, though. Tackle is good. This is McClendon, who waits patiently at dummy half again. Little looped ball for Lola here, who has to try and use brute force, and then the delicacy of the offload, and here comes Lulai. Well, they've got a couple of tackles left here, London, so it's
back on the line.
Still a very encouraging position from their point of view. McClendon again, out to Dawn, wide once more. O'Halloran has to step inside, and there's enough of a welcoming committee to ensure the move cannot be completed. It's Dawn, sliding it through, looking for the post, but it finds only Robinson, who's able to clear his lines very effectively and put Salford back in position.
Yeah, good play by Robinson. The problem with McClendon, I'm not sure if he knows where he's going to run the support. If he's at the moment he's just supporting behind the ruck and to play the ball, and there's a penalty for the Reds. But the problem is then if they create overlaps out wide, you need your full back to hit the line, and finish the move off. I'm not sure if they know where they want him to attack. I don't think he knows yet.
Well, they've one or two players who you're not quite sure whether they are in their right positions. McClendon's been switched all season, hasn't he? And Sykes in the centres now. John Wells playing on the wing. He had a spell at full-back last year and very much enjoyed that position.
I think with McClendon, what he is, he's great on a one-to-one. So I think the wider he plays, the better. Yes, okay, he needs to come up the middle on supporting the forwards. But if they're going to spread it wide, you need him outside.
Robertson is down. Mark McClendon just marshalling things from behind the line as the ball is moved out to Robinson now. Here's Hodgson, the two former wingmen at Wiganers in harness here as Littler tries to break the line and rather force the pass. It was good tackle from Sykes.
Great run there, good block. They just got on the outside. This kid has been playing extremely well. Just try to get the offload in on the middle. But Stuart Littler, I think, has improved every season.
Outside the headline grabbers of Robinson and Alker, I think one or two Salford fans are hoping Stuart Littler might have been involved in Brian Noble's squad this week as well. He's already scored 2 hat-tricks this season. It's McClendon.
Back up.
Dawn. It's taken away from dummy half by Purdom.
Wait.
Again, it's McClendon there, taking the first ball.
Well, that's a risky offload that hasn't quite paid dividends. But they will keep trying it, won't they? It's the way to open defences up. Here's Coley. Alker. Rutgerson. Charging it forward, the former Canberra man. Played for South Africa, though, in the last World Cup. Here's Robinson again now. Always a bright spark down that right-hand side. 3 tackles to come here. The City Reds finding themselves in good position now. Coley, inside ball again. Oh, and if he just kept his eye on it there, Kalilaua might have been in with a chance of an interception.
He was
definitely still gone his way.
He was definitely in there. He was looking at the man, not the ball. As the ball goes, well, just watch where his eye line is. In fact, it hits him right on the head.
Okay.
If he attacked that ball instead of attacking the player, there's a certain interception on there.
Okay, let's lock in, lads.
Could have been our first moment of real drama in this game, but 9 minutes played, almost as you can see, it remains 0-0. But it's London who seem to be enjoying plenty of possession at the moment. Sykes now, former Bradford man. Decent half break by him. Wells from dummy half. McClendon back to the middle again, and the juggling. Well, it's gone to ground, and the referee says play on. Luluai. Will there be some suggestion from the Salford camp that that was knocked forward?
Second, all there.
Driven forward by Trindle. Soft hands trying to
Third,
put Lolo
keep
here
going,
through.
Clint, can you hear me?
Heighton. McClendon again. It's Hopkins. He's a real durable Aussie. Lee Hopkins, one of the unsung heroes in this London side this season, and hampered at the play the ball. And so the penalty goes London's way.
Now this will be the first chance. Yeah, his foot's in there, you know, it's his job to get out of the way. The guy playing the ball, you know, we'll look for that penalty. Fresh set, good field position. And now let's have a look where McClendon is going to be in. The number 6 for London Broncos. Just see where he is on this set of 6.
First.
Well, he's moved up to dummy half, but backs away just as quickly as Heighton takes up a more established dummy half player in the side. Lolo here is held.
Move out.
Heighton. This is Luluai, starring for New Zealand just a couple of weeks ago in their Anzac Test match against Australia.
On the line.
Heighton again. It's Luluai once more. Now Dawn. Wide it comes, just trying to push O'Halloran through the gap. He thought about getting it away again, but three Salford defenders quickly changed his mind. Dawn once more, flat to the line. It's a risky ball. McClendon pops it up once more. There's an overlap here. It falls for Sykes, who must score and does. Well, that has silenced the Willows, hasn't it? A little scrappy in the build-up.
I can hear Clint.
But I don't think there are going to be any problems here. The referee has given the try.
How often do you see when the ball goes to ground, the defence just stands off? The bounce favoured Paul Sykes. That was a very, very easy try, but they did have numbers on the left-hand side. Nothing much on. It's a long floated pass. There we are. Anthony Sewell's going to come in, doesn't read it, ball goes to ground, and that is a good finish.
Well, Paul Sykes will love that one, won't he? 84th London appearance this afternoon. Easily the longest serving player in that London side. And a chance to add the 2 to his 4. It's a bit of a breeze blowing around the Willows today, which might just make it difficult for the goal kickers especially, but no obvious signs of that just at the moment as Sykes prepares himself for the task, which he has succeeded in. And London get off to a very good start. 12 minutes played, and they lead now by those 6 points to 0. Well, for a side that has been troubled with its form of late, that is just the kind of thing that will settle nerves, isn't it?
Yeah, and as I said, you know, when they're away from home, a good start is crucial for them. And I think today, with the blustery conditions, convergence could be important.
Lolo here with the original drive for the London Broncos. Taken on by Trindle. Oh, it's been dropped, but again the referee takes a close look and says it went backwards. Omono carries it another 10 yards or so. Here's Wells, trying his luck from dummy half. These are the latest scores in the 5th round. Elsewhere, by the way, Barrow 8, Super League side Widnes 40. No surprises there. And Lee were losing against Halifax at half-time, but Super League status has been restored there too. Latest score, Lee 22, Halifax 14. That's after an hour's play in that game at the Coliseum. Used to be known as Hilton Park, but they call it the Coliseum. They've not made many other changes apart from the name, but have to go with the marketing men sometimes, don't we? It's Salford in possession here. Don't forget at the moment, Wigan, Leeds, St Helens, Hull and the French side Toulouse all in the hat for the draw for the next round, the quarter-finals, which will take place straight after this game here at the Willows. Malcolm is the dummy half. Here's Rutgerson again, gets through his work, does Rutgerson, and does well to offload, and suddenly one or two little gaps developing down the middle. Alka can't quite get through them. Hodgson quickly away for the kick downfield, but McClendon's well positioned.
First, back here, Salford.
That's a first test for a fullback, really, isn't it? How he defends from kicks, I suppose. Even when you were playing, because you switch between standoff and fullback as well.
You've got to carry the ball well, and sometimes you've got to work as a back three, the two wingers, try and get on the outside of some, one of the chaser.
Third.
Here's Purdom. This is Luluai. Ball inside for the charge of Hormona again.
Salford, back it up.
Four tackles. They're working hard here.
Well, what is the trouble with Salford at the moment is that, they haven't had the ball. I don't think it'd be interesting to have a stats, because after 15 minutes, I can't, apart from one attack, they've been under the cosh.
That's an interesting kick from Dawn, but it's swept up by Robinson, who might just be carried out of play. He is, so that's another successful London. It'll be their head and feet from the scrum here.
There's a start, look, 59% possession, and it's all been in good field position as well. And Salford have had to take the ball out and get a kick in. And with the blustery conditions, they haven't had no field position whatsoever.
Back line, lads.
It's just a question that the defence, has been well organised.
Okay.
Well, they'll have to keep their concentration again here, because this is, again, excellent position and possession for London. McClendon. Here's Dawn with a step off his right foot. Took him straight away past Beverley, but he's hauled down a yard short and held on for too long.
Too long.
And it'll be a penalty to London.
Yeah, he just pushed too quickly there. Cliff Beverley just went too early. It was an easy step just to get on the inside shoulder.
Okay.
You've got to defend. If you are going to push, you've got to defend on the inside shoulder.
Here's Luluai. Exciting moments these for the London Broncos as they look to press home their advantage. Heighton has a good look round, left and right, decides to carry it right. Here's McClendon again.
Second.
4 more tackles here for Salford to defend. It's again a loosish pass. O'Halloran, it's picked up by Purdom.
Third.
Couldn't quite reach far enough. McClendon, again a step from him, can't find a way through. Bradley Galilawa, high bouncing ball, Stevenson fresh on the field. It's left to Sykes, who thought he saw the way through himself, hacked on again by Hopkins, but swept up by Hodgson, and Salford back in possession.
A couple of good dummy runs there, one from Mark Tukey. There's nothing really Salford can do. They've just got to, take the ball, get a good kick and try and force an error when they're in the Broncos' half. It's as simple as that. Controlling the possession extremely well, completing their sets, just keeping the pressure on the Reds.
Just rolled their prop forwards here, and meanwhile it's a chance for Sibbett to make a break.
You're pulling him back.
Purdom was pulling the man off the ball back.
His shirt.
Bit of obstruction.
McGuinness.
As the break was being made, Purdom was just pulling at McGuinness's shirt. Didn't quite catch it there, but that's why the penalty has gone Salford's way.
First opportunity really for the Salford Reds.
Here's Charles, back to Coley.
First. Back here.
Good position to start from. Alka, who's added attacking menace to his defensive armoury this year.
Second. Back it up, London.
I wonder how long before he scoots from dummy half. Here he goes now, but looking for support.
Third.
Beverley to his feet quickly. Alka back to Rutgerson again now. Rutgerson looking wide at the fringes, and with his power and his angle of run.
Good angle of run there, trying to get it on the outside.
McGuinness. It's Beverley, now it's Robinson. Trying to force the issue again and over-forcing it. They've given it away and Sykes has it back once more for London Broncos.
Really didn't need that, really didn't need it.
Wells.
Second.
It's going to be picked up by Heighton from dummy half. Let's hear from the touchline where Damien Johnson is watching the game.
Lee Greenwood is with me, London's 18th man today. Happy with the start you've made? Good try from Paul Sykes.
Yeah, we got a bit lucky with the try. It's a good solid start. I'm just going to stay in the arm wrestle as long as we can.
Thanks, Lee.
I think arm wrestle is a good way of summing this game up so far, isn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah, they are.
Last.
Bradley Galiloa down this right-hand side.
That's really the first time that no one's been there to get the kick in.
Straight hand over on the sixth tackle.
Third.
Alka. This is Rutgerson with the drive in and offload. Just keeping it alive to tire the defence. Hodgson.
Second. Here.
It's Charles who waits.
Lee, step back.
Robinson, capable of creating so much. Here's Littler now, held up in the tackle and good covering there from Tuki to make sure he couldn't get the pass away. Alka, Coley.
4. Good here.
Alka again. Little dart from him and he just pushes them off and uses that pace. He can be so dangerous from there. That's why he's been talked about in Great Britain circles. Robinson with a kick across the face of the defence. McClendon's positioning again is good and he just about holds on to it.
First and hold. Hold.
So it's all very tight at the moment. I wonder what Ian Millward's making of this back in the studio. Ian.
Second.
Well, Dave, we
Back up
talked
here.
about the percentages Salford play and doing all the little things right. It took them a little while to get in the game, and probably one of the reasons is they've been a little bit sideways and coming up with some offloads, which have caused some errors for both teams. In fact, actually, Brian and I both have been debating here in the studio whether we would have went for the 2 points while London was 6-0 up. And the other one we're debating is Gareth Hegarty, the Salford front rower, bringing him on to spark them up a little bit, and give them a little bit more direction on their go forward. They're probably two significant things in the first half.
Thanks, Ian. As Luluai with a kick inside his 40, there's never any danger of it finding the touchline. It's merely a distance kick, and it'll be brought back with a little bit of interest by Nathan McAvoy. Playing with Brian Noble knows very well, of course, from his Bradford days. McAvoy. It's driven forward again.
They just need that spark. They need a spark, as the boy said, just to bring Luke Robinson. There's no go forward at the moment. Everything is lateral, and the London Broncos defence is coping with it.
There's Robinson again. Rutgerson. London defence right in his face. O'Halloran really read that well, and again just stopping him in his tracks.
Yeah, Rutgerson is the one maybe has done the hard yards.
There's Coley.
5.
But sixth tackle and only just inside the London half. Robinson
Okay.
looking for the kick.
All on.
Bradley Galiloa is careful. McClendon now.
That's a very good chase. Very good chase for the Salford. It's very difficult to kick into this wind. Neither side are getting much distance on it.
Forward by Danny Williams, former Melbourne man. Had to sit out the early part of the season because of a suspension that was carried over from his playing days in Australia. Here's Wells,
Third.
taking it on again.
Let's stand up.
Flat ball to Francis Stevenson.
4.
Heighton stands and waits behind Tuki, onto McClendon. Forward by Purdham,
5.
but they too are now on the sixth tackle.
And the goal.
Heighton, Luluai.
Okay. Go forward.
Hodgson has it easily covered. How good's London's chase this time? Well, Hodgson has found a gap and has the chance to show a bit of his pace here too, and that's a good clearing run by the fullback.
That's
really
a great
does
run.
lift his forwards, doesn't it?
Well, that's what you're doing. You know, when you work as a team, the winger on your outside, you know, just keeps the defender off, and you try and, you know, beat your own man. And if the chase isn't good, you can always try and do that.
Okay, here's Haggerty. As Ian Millward and Brian Ober was saying, it'd be interesting to see how he can make an impact on this game. Well, already he looks a lively character, doesn't he? Alka. Robinson now. Ball in both hands, spins it back to the middle once more. Coley carries on, good offload by him. Stepping inside goes Beverley.
Good feet by Coley there for a big man. got through the tackle.
Robinson on the 6 will try the kick. It's too deep, is it? Yes, it is. McLinnan just watches it out of play. And it'll be a tap back on the 20 for the London Broncos. But Luke Robinson's had a terrific season this year since his signing from Wigan, but not really found his head so far in this game. One or two St Helens fans here as well today, protesting about a certain gentleman who's sitting in our studios today. We want our coach back, is the message from those St Helens supporters. And you can see confirmation, Haggerty on. Rutgerson is the man he's replaced. He's the son of Roy Haggerty. Did you ever play against Roy Haggerty, Jonathan?
I did play against Roy Haggerty, yes, I did. An awkward customer to tackle.
A knees and elbows merchant,
he was, yes.
Is the expression. That's a good hit.
It was a good forward pass as well.
Taken on by Luluai.
Okay.
Little sliding kick from him that will find touch. And that's a very intelligent piece of football there, because it'll take those Salford forwards backwards.
It just needs a spark, doesn't it? From either side, you think, just playing a very safe game. Little grubber kick through, nothing much on you. If you are going to kick, I do think on the last tackle, if you kick, you've got to try and compete for the ball. You know, this is just surrendering possession, really, because Salford Reds are just going to, you know, take this out now. I know they're deep in their own half.
It's a huge competition, this, for both these sides, though, isn't it? Because with the best will in the world, winning the Super League Grand Final is perhaps a little beyond them at this stage. Making the playoffs isn't, but winning it is. But the Challenge Cup really does give them an opportunity to bring a bit of silverware home, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and also, like we said before the game, for the London Broncos, it's irrelevant really how bad they've been playing in the league away from home. This is a one-off. You know, if they lose, that's it, they're gone.
Charles helps it on. Haggerty with a pass to Robinson, who won't thank you for that.
Oh, they're certainly putting a lot of pressure on Robinson. As soon as he's, you know, about to get the ball, they close him down, they spot him and come out of the line. They just made it, you know, they know he's the danger man. He's where the playmaker is. Just close his space down.
Well, Robinson's hit the head, and it's caught in mid-flight. Just short of the halfway line by Tukik.
Yeah, they've got to get a kicking game, and again, you know, there's a couple of kicks now has been charged down. I think one by, I think it was Charles, and then by Robinson.
Stevenson taking it forward without any great venom on that occasion. But the platform is set here. Switched to Luluai. This is Tyrone Smith, who's on for the substitutes bench as well in the centre. And it all ends up rather disastrously from London's point of view.
Again, all very lateral, isn't it? There's no go forward. Forwards really aren't laying the platform for either set of half-backs. Here we are, it's a line ball, as referee said, but going nowhere.
Good tackle by McAvoy.
So remember that, and I'm impartial.
Referee just giving his credentials.
Chris Charles
again.
again.
Questioning them.
Chris Charles again, getting a bit of lip.
Hodgson. Thought he was being interfered with, or at least the Salford supporters did. Shipway wrestled down. Alka. Left to Haggerty again. He looks a handful, doesn't he? They're not able to spring the trap. But here comes Robinson. Beverley, a little rushed because he could feel the hot breath of the defender, no doubt, and Haggerty didn't like the highness of that attempted tackle, and the referee will have to get involved here.
Put that out on this side.
Well, I think he missed the first slap. Yeah, this cops one on the... Oof. Smith gets him.
They gave a penalty for Salford in the end, which was perhaps the right call. Alka with a tap. Here comes Sibbett. Now, what can Salford make from this position? Yet to make a dent on that London line. Looking for a possible way through. McGuinness takes that very well indeed. And he's got clever feet close to the line. And he's still going! Oh! How did they let him through? It was will-o'-the-wisp stuff. And Kevin McGuinness found just that tiny gap in the defence to force his body over.
The first try was a bouncing ball where the defence just stood off a little bit, and a disorganised defence. And this really is just poor defence on the Broncos' part. They're not really going anywhere. Quick feet, McGuinness is away. Steps aside, goes to the ground, he's not held. Up extremely quick and he's over. You've got to finish it from the post cam. They're not really going anywhere. Charles comes in. Offload. Steps back inside. Stevenson misses a tackle. That's when he's got to be finished. Gets up on his feet. Does well to get over.
They put some cameramen in good positions these days, don't they? Got the absolute spectacular view of that try. And Charles is looking to add the 2.
Right.
You can see it's a fairly straightforward kick for Charles, who finds a target safely enough. It's all square again. And despite the fact that London have dominated, it's Salford who are back level again.
Yeah, as we see, he's got quick feet, and what you'll do is up against the big man. Stevenson puts him to the ground, but there's no one there to finish him off. Got time to get on his feet again. There's gaps everywhere.
So 6-6. It's been a very, very tight game so far, and the scoreline reflects that as well.
Again, it's been the Salford defence who just kept him in the game.
Sykes with a restart. Doesn't go too long this time.
No.
Bit of his kicking confidence back.
First.
10 minutes of the first half remaining. These are pretty key 10 minutes as well. There's Haggerty.
He's certainly made an impact, hasn't he, since coming on?
Hasn't made any big runs, but he just the body language as well, doesn't he, Haggerty? He makes the defence have to think, doesn't he?
He just goes forward, Dave. It makes it a lot easier for the half-backs. They've had better field positions since he has come on, and also because he's playing the ball very, very quickly. He gives the other forwards a great timing.
Kick. He was outside the 40 when he let fly.
Play on.
Here's McClendon. Robinson's done well to chase that. That's a terrific little play by Luke Robinson, kicking and then getting up to make the first tackle as well. That's what you look for, isn't it?
Yeah, Salford just picked the tempo up a little bit.
Sykes is the dummy half. It's driven forward by Williams.
Third.
Hopkins away to Stevenson, behind the line McClendon, and into the line comes Purdon, but good solid defence from Salford.
4, good. Salford, no!
McClendon wants to kick early in the 6. Hodgson is fortunate with a bounce.
First, hold there.
Moved away to Hodgson again, who's got a chance of finding a bit of an overlap on that far side, but Wells is across quickly to cover again. London is stepping it up here and maybe stepping up a little too far.
I'll decide if it's a good shot, not you. Take it over there, Danny.
Danny Williams.
I'll speak to you in a minute, mate. Danny.
Well, the first impression was that Bender was slipping into this, but the referee might have a different view.
Have a little look. I don't think there's much wrong with that, really. He fell into it. I don't think he made contact above the shoulders. See if there was an elbow involved, or
The referee, I think, has given a penalty against Danny Williams for the use of an elbow here. Touch judge is on as well, having his say.
Danny, come in, mate.
There might be more trouble here for Danny Williams.
Let me speak to you. I think he's going down. It's mistimed. Okay, just got to put it on report, okay? All right, and it's a penalty.
Well, I think the referee got it right there. He recognised the fact that the attacking player was slipping as he went into the tackle. There was no intent, but there was a bit of an elbow and an arm
comes
involved.
off the right foot, he slipped. He did lead with the elbow. He definitely led with the elbow from that shot, and if anything, he's lucky that it hasn't gone on report, because he did lead. It was a clumsy tackle, he was going down, but certainly led with the elbow.
Here's Alker at dummy half. It's taken on again by Gareth Haggerty, who does well, just bustling the ball out from the tackle once more.
Second, back up.
Alka. Inside to Robinson, who's seen the gap. Fleet of foot, almost taking him through. Good recovery from Sykes again, who's held him down too long and has given away the penalty in an interesting position now.
No, I've got to go for goal. Cup game, take the points when they're given to you. But a lovely little break.
Two.
Ball in two hands.
Come here.
Well, that's the first real moment we've seen of Luke Robinson in this game, isn't it?
Comes across, lovely dummy. Good defence. Sykes came in, spotted the danger, just kept him down.
And a big moment this for Chris Charles, the former Hockey man. If he puts this over, his side will lead by the 2, of course. And I think Carl Harrison will take that at this stage, won't he, Jonathan Davis, given the amount of defending his team have had to do in this first half?
Yeah, they've slowly come back in. They've got field position, they've forced errors. And if anything, they've looked far more dangerous than the London Broncos. And, you know where it's going to come from, where the attack's going to come from. It's Robinson. Whereas the London Broncos, you're not really sure whether it's Dawn or Lula or McLinden is going to come in.
Here comes Charles, who hoists it the way he wants it to go. 2 out of 2 for Chris Charles this afternoon. And it just pushes Salford ahead for the first time in this game.
There's the break, throws the dummy. Sykes did well to come in. Just a bit of seconds there, pushed him down.
I think Luke Robinson was going to let the referee get away with it, was he?
Oh.
8-6 Salford lead then.
Twice. After Danny Williams, after the incident there, I'm going chipping off Paul Sykes. Now I spoke to him. Chipping back about decisions. I've given 2 warnings now.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a change. I'll talk to you, there is a problem.
Just while I'm
but
here.
I'm not talking to
Just
him.
while I'm here. When they're with the ball, when they surrender,
Just
we can
having
ring the
a-
dorm and hold out.
Yeah, as soon as I call dominant, you've got a bit of
Just having
time.
a little word there
You
with
know what I'm saying,
Chat
Matt?
with the captain, wasn't it?
McLinden,
Yeah, you
he
can,
just said
politely.
that
You
Paul
can't
Sykes
swear,
is
though.
chirping away at him.
All right,
Danny
well.
Williams is chirping away at him, and he's not going to take
Never
any
about
more. You will penalise them.
I think Sykes might also be on a warning here for holding down in the tackle as well. The next time could see him sent to the sin bin, so he'll have to be careful with that too. Just over 3.5 minutes left in this first half, and Salford just about holding that advantage. Baldwin on from the bench. First time we've seen him this afternoon. Here comes Haggerty again. Alka. Covering the tackle from Trindle.
Back it up.
Alka once more will dash away from dummy half.
It's a good drive by Alka.
5.
Just testing if there's any weariness in those London legs at the back end of this first half. The kick again is charged out.
Well, the kicking game is very, very poor, and that's what Harrison will have to try and sort out at half-time. There's no one just taking control of it. They're standing too shallow, and the chase is easy to close them down. There is no second, kicking option, and they put themselves under pressure just before half-time.
Well, it's developing here as Sykes will take it on and just brush through the tackle of Robinson, but there were plenty more red shirts across there to make sure it was completed. 10 yards out, this would be an ideal time for London to score. Here's Trindle. Hopkins. Away to Luluay, who sees the gap and bounces off the defender, and he's through. And it was Haggerty who failed to make the tackle.
Well, there's the mismatch, isn't it, Dave? This is what you've got to do. Lulay comes in, spots the big man, shows a dummy, gets on the outside. And that all again came from a poor kick. Just watching, nothing much on here. Haggerty, the props in front of him, he knows, right, he's going to struggle to get there. Just get on the outside. There's the camera, postcard. You see, he's just been drawn in, Haggerty, a little bit. He's struggling to get across there. The fend is good. Lulay gets over. Just sucked in a little bit, just shifted the centre of balance. Haggerty, for a big man, just couldn't get the tackle in on Lulay. And that all came again, as I mentioned, from that poor kick, where they had good field position, good drive by Alka. It's a poor kick.
was a good fend from a little fella as well, wasn't it?
Well, it's not like what they do. They use the fend, you know. It's not a hand-off. It's just a push-off, which gives you momentum as the ball carrier to get away from the defender. And if he is struggling, you know, he's trying to get across, just can't make it.
Well, it looks pretty certain they will be going at half-time in the lead. I don't think there's too much time left in this first half for Salford to respond. The question is, what will the margin of the lead be? 2 points at the moment. Sykes aiming to make it 4 if this kick is successful. Started his career as a youngster at Bradford, struggled to make any impression there at Odsal. Went down to London, a couple of spells on loan, and eventually finished up. That's a few years ago now for Paul Sykes. He's been a regular for London for quite a while, and he's pretty good at kicking as well, as you've just seen.
There we are. This is the pass. Now he's got plenty of time. Takes 2 steps. That is just a poor kick. It's far too flat, you know. When they rush onto you, you've got to get height into the kick very, very early.
Salford 8, London 12 then, as we approach that half-time hooter. Pretty important time to score a try. I think we might see 1, maybe 2 drives, and then we'll hear the hooter sound. So London are not going to take any chances here. That is the end of it as far as the first half is concerned.